Folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. I know, the road's rough, but you can rest assured that it's much better than it was, because just yesterday, they came through and they graded it. Yeah, this is graded. I know, some of you that only drive on pavement, you don't know what in the world's going on. Yes, it's hard on ball joints and bearings and shocks. I've got new shocks purchased for this truck. I just haven't had time to put them on. They're just sitting there in the box. But you know, the taxes are cheap out here because they don't maintain the roads. So you, instead of paying the taxes, you have to put it into your vehicle every year or two for new things. But anyways, busy morning for us here. I've got two things going on at the same time. Got at one fire station, we're teaching some training, some medical training, and then at our station that we're rebuilding, we've got a work crew showing up there here in a little bit. So I've got to get over there and check on that. They're going to be doing a lot of the framing there that we've been working on, figuring it out, trying to tie into old existing stuff and that sort of thing. So the plumbing is all completed. We actually have plumbing in the building now. I have a functioning toilet in the building. I mean, it's just stuck out in the open, so you kind of have to turn your head if someone's using it. But it's there and it's functioning. And now we got to start framing up the walls around everything. So it's a lot of stuff going on. You know, I know that some of you, not all, but some of you are thinking, well, that's great what you're doing, but you know, that doesn't pertain to me. You know, I'm telling you, you can do this kind of stuff too. You can. It doesn't have to be as big. It doesn't have to be working with the local, you know, fire department or whatever, but you can certainly put together a group like this of people. I have found that people are more interested in becoming part of a team like what we've put together than just saying, well, you want to join a MAG. Because some people don't know what a MAG is. They don't know what that mutual assistance group, prepper group is. And the ones that do, a lot of times they've got kind of burnt out by them because so many of them don't really do a whole lot. And I'm not saying they all are that way. I'm sure that many of you are involved in a little prepper group that are very active. But so many of them, they're pretty much sitting around drinking coffee and talking about what they need to do. And that's about it. And so we're out there moving and shaking and training and actually saving lives. You know, our team has actually been on several 911 calls already, helping in the community. So you can do the same kind of thing. Yes, it takes work and dedication, but it is very possible to do that. The world is, my goodness, it's in a lot of craziness. There's so many different narratives floating around. It's hard to keep track of it. The economy looks crazy. We've got Janet Yellen and Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve Chairman and the Secretary of the Treasury, are now both somewhat in their tone in what they say are indicating that, yeah, things are bad. You know, up until now, they have been the ones that are just, oh, the economy's fine. You know, it's a V-shaped recovery. It's a soft landing. There most likely won't be any kind of recession. Everything's going good. And now we've got Jerome Powell saying that this debt, the American economy, the American debt, the amount of spending is completely unsustainable. You know, I would think that traditionally, years ago, if a Federal Reserve Chairman said something like that, it probably would have caused the markets to go wonky, at least for a while. And no one seemed to notice, right? It just wasn't that big a deal. I think because people they already know everything's unsustainable. Most Americans that do realize something's up, and I think a lot more are, they're just kind of in this numbness state where, yes, it's probably all going to fall apart. Let's just keep functioning as best. This cognitive dissonance, you know, let's just keep let's just keep moving forward as long as we can and kind of pretend like things are normal, and not even think about what to do when things fall apart. Janet Yellen was saying some stuff about how that, you know, there's a good likely chance that we're going to see some banks collapse, that they're just not able to withstand this economy. It's not good. And so we've got two of the top people in the country that are, you know, in the economy, finances, all that kind of stuff, are finally now starting to say stuff that indicate that it's not going so well. We got Joe Biden. You know, he's been all along saying that, you know, oh, there's no problem with the border. We've had the press secretary and the Department of Homeland Security and all these different people. Oh, no, there's no crisis. There's no crisis at the border. And now he's finally saying, yeah, there is a crisis. It's not his fault, but there is a crisis. It's all Trump's fault. It's Trump's fault that they've been cutting the border fence. It's Trump's fault that they were dismantling it. It's Trump's fault that they stopped building. It's Trump's fault that they went to the Supreme Court trying to get the Supreme Court to, you know, let them continue cutting the fence, all this kind of stuff. That's Trump's fault. But the point is that they're admitting that there's a problem at the border. Now, why all of a sudden? I mean, I'm sure there's some kind of psyop going on here. There almost always is with everything, especially on that level. But I suspect it's because they know that it's that critical. And so they're trying to start to slowly soften the blow that things are about ready to just fall apart. You know, they're trying to, you know, they've held off long enough. They've tried to lie and twist the truth long enough that now they've got to, you know, they're in a position that they either continue lying to the point that virtually all of the American people, you know, realize what's going on and turn against them, or they have to start changing the narrative, shifting it to, you know, yes, these things are happening. Yes, this is a problem. It's not our problem. It's not our fault, but they are happening, and we have to get ready for it. We've got countries all over Europe telling their people to stock up and prep and get ready for war. I don't know what else to tell people. I mean, I'm serious. I'm at the point, you know, every day, even if I have the idea figured out of what we're going to talk about, like how do you keep telling people to get ready? How do you keep pushing people, encouraging people? Because we all need that. I need that. You know, I get busy with things and then I kind of forget. And not forget. It's just, it takes a back seat for a while. Oh man, I should have stocked up on that. All right, I've got this project I need to get done. So we all need encouragement, because none of us have ever lived through anything like this. No matter what kind of tragic situation you've seen in your life, none of us have ever lived through something like this. You know, very possibly not since the fall of Rome, and maybe even worse. Has anyone seen something at this level? Because it's so big. You know, Humpty Dumpty is pretty big, and when he comes falling down, it's going to be it's going to be disastrous. So we have to get ready. Pay attention to the warning signs, and when the people that have been lying to us for so long, saying that nothing's wrong, everything's fine, are now finally starting to say, yeah, things are wrong, things aren't fine. That's typically a pretty good indicator that things are starting to get pretty close. So get activated, folks. It's time to mobilize yourself. Stop just putting things off. Certainly don't put your head in the sand. Don't find yourself into this state of panic and fear to where you're just frozen. You know, no deer in the headlights is going to be allowed here, right? Yes, it can be terrifying. It shouldn't be, but I understand for some it can. And a lot of it's because maybe you're still new. Maybe you haven't done as much. Maybe you're, you know, just kind of getting started. And so you see all this, you're like, oh my goodness, I should have started 2 or 3 years ago. I get it, but don't allow the fear to pull you apart. Don't allow that. Take all of this stuff that's going on and use it as a tool, as a way to educate you and motivate you and kind of keep you focused on where you need to be. And that is just, I believe right now we should all be in a pretty heavy focused preparedness state. Just what do we need to do to get ready? Because I mean, all the indicators show that it's not too far away. Folks, you need to get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.